Hi, it's me. It's me, Vivian. I look a bit weird, but I just want to save time and share something before the day ends. And first of all, welcome back to my channel. And this episode, I'd like to share continuously on relationships, on breakups. And I think this is also another episode about post breakups because you know how things could continue, or things could make you become a better person. And I think this is the main idea and concept about being a better person, right? Like every day. So um I actually felt way better, that which means that I actually found my happiness back again, and that happiness comes from directly from myself. And I realized the thing, it's so hard to talk. I realized that, okay, it's so funny, but I realized that recently, right, that there was the Coachella concert with Justin Bieber, and seeing him vibing himself and vibing over his like, okay, what happened was he took off his old YouTube music videos, and he sang alongside his younger self. And that scene kind of made me reflect again about how precious people are, like individuals are as a person, because you can see that he found that joy and that happiness again, seeing his younger version, and making peace with his younger version. And that kind of reflect and kind of hit me again, where I realized that the happiness really comes from internally, and your internal happiness is really something that only yourself can provide you. You know, like there's a lot of external forces will kind of make you feel better, feel good, you will feel good, but actually the happiness, the internal core of happiness actually comes from yourself. And that's very important, because if you don't realize that you will always be constantly seeking external approval. But it does not mean that you shouldn't seek for external approval. It's more on you realizing that your happiness lies and is taken in control by yourself. And that's very important. Yeah. And of course, when you hang out with other people, or you have this external things that add value to your life, of course you feel great. And that great, I'm not saying that kind of force of feeling is it does not make sense. It's not in that way. It means that the core happiness and the core fundamental things that will actually bring you joy, peace, happiness comes from you. And you kind of need to find that and search what actually makes you feel that way. And also on a side note, that I started to feel and take account where a lot of people that could take humor, that are humorous, that will take jokes on themselves, are actually very cool people, because they can actually not take themselves so seriously, which means that actually they don't really care so much about how other think about them. And like for example, I'm doing this video with this mask on, and I look so weird, but it does not matter. Like it doesn't really matter. Like if the people will really want to tune in and check on your videos, and want to hear your sharings, then they would. You know, like there's too much of an external validation that we are finding in this modern society. I mean, like it's normal to you wanting to feel, look, appear better. But I'm saying that it's looping back to where I was sharing this. It's always comes from within yourself. Yeah. And that so I think to conclude this thing, and to conclude what I want to share, is that real happiness and the peace actually comes from you finding it within yourselves. And actually sometimes not taking other people so seriously will benefit you a lot, because actually not everyone is looking at you 24/7. Not actually everyone has the time to look at you 24/7, except if it's some sort of a stalker, like everyone's busy with their own timeline, their own life. There's actually not much time for people to kind of to have that lot of opinions on you, unless there's specifically they have some some issues or things like that's going on with themselves. Yeah, so yeah, it kind of starts to, after some time, you kind of, when you realize that when you hang out with more humorous people that are actually quite funny, they're not so serious about themselves, you actually find that aura, like they are willing, they're so 落落大方, like 他们经得起就是笑话玩笑，就是会有办法开自己玩笑的人，是非常就是强大的人。Yeah, this is what I realized. And I was doing a challenge, like saying that if you guys or some people ever sign me up for a stand-up comedy, I would really certainly want to try, because like looking back on all these, I felt like I sometimes feel I can be a comedian, like sharing the things that happened. And yeah, it's just how strong and how mentally sufficient these people are, able to take jokes about themselves and then willing to share that in a very humorous way, where other people can kind of learn from it, but in a very casual, like very chill, relaxed way. Yeah, so that's all for today's video. Before I call it off a day, that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to be very raw and authentic. I don't want to over analyze, over organize the videos that I have. So what I wanted to share, directly share over video. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and see you in the next one. Bye.